In today's practice video, we're going to do a small little script, and you're going to notice that some of the lines are thinner and some of the lines are thicker. So we're just going to try out two different sized liners and see what each one does and how we get on with them. I'm just going to start off with a 7 round liner. Again, just like last time, we're going to put a bunch of Vaseline on the tattoo before doing each and every line. Just putting a bit more Vaseline on. And now, if you remember from our previous practice session, you can push the line or pull the line or just do a combination of both, so just do whatever feels more comfortable. I'm going to start by pushing the line. Then I'm just going to go around and then I'm going to pull it towards me, get this bottom bit done, and then push it up into the next letter. Now to get that thicker part, what I'm going to do is just go back on the line and now try to line again right next to the first one, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like having two lines next to each other. Now, if there's any spacing or a small little gap between the two lines, you can just gently color in some solid black in order to get rid of that. Sometimes wiping is perfectly fine, but I generally recommend first dabbing and then wiping. Okay, next I'm going to try the 9 round liner. You're going to see how the lines made with the 9 are quite a bit thicker than the ones made with a 7, which is very good for the thicker parts of the line, but when it comes to the thinner parts, then it just looks a little bit weird. Okay, so maybe this is not the ideal needle for this particular script. I think we can do a much better job with a 7 round liner, so I'm just gonna switch back, gonna grab some ink, put a bit of Vaseline on, now we're just going to start lining again, and I'm going to pull the line towards me. I'm just going to do this little loop and then I'm going to push it into the next letter. Now for the thicker part I can just color it in like this and then just gently brush it in. See, this is why I don't usually wipe, just because it kind of smudges the ink all over the place. So again, just gently brushing it, trying to make it a little bit thicker on that side. I'm going to add a bit more Vaseline to clean it as well. Again, just adding a bit more, and then I'm going to wipe. Now I'm going to start doing the letter O. And you can just do as much of the letter as it feels comfortable. If you want to just break it up into smaller segments and do each one at a time, that's perfectly fine. Just take your time with it and don't rush it. Now I'm just going to pull this line like this, and you're going to notice that the first line is much thicker. So what I'm going to do is outline it first. And now all I have to do is just fill it with solid black. See, this is the difference between tattooing and any other medium. For example, people doing calligraphy with a fountain pen would probably be able to do something like this in a few seconds, probably in a single stroke. But when it comes to tattooing, we have to draw everything we see, basically even lettering, even brushstrokes, or any other image. Everything for us is a drawing, so it needs to be reproduced and redrawn. A good example is when we're tattooing brushstrokes, because that's literally just one stroke with an actual paintbrush. But when you try to replicate that on skin, you have to line the entire shape, making sure that you fill it up properly, get all the sides, and you're basically just going to create a drawing or a reproduction of that brushstroke. Again, just take your time, there's no rush, there's nowhere to be, because what we're interested in is doing a good tattoo. It's also very important to follow the stencil and stay on the line. But if you go a little bit over it or under it, then it's really not the end of the world. If it happens for you to step over the stencil line, please just try not to panic or anything like that. Just do the rest of the tattoo as well as possible, and that's it. And if you really want a chance at redemption, you can leave it for a day, then come back the next day and try to redo the same design or image from scratch. I promise you that you're going to do a much better job on your second try. I'm just going to do this little line and I'm going to taper out just to make it a little bit sharp on that end. You can practice as much as you like, and you can even stencil a bunch of different scripts, try out a bunch of different fonts, but just have fun with it. Now we're just going to give it a quick little wipe just to see what's left behind. And that's our script done. Congratulations!